Hey, what is up mortals, it's Edward Sailor here, and before we get into today's video, would firstly like to thank CalMax Customs for sponsoring the video. Secondly, a quick thank you to our sponsors on Patreon. The full list will be at the end of the video. If you'd like to support us and our content, please go over there and check it out. Lastly, I would like to say that we've got a second channel called Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive is a channel based on a variety of anime lore. If you're interested in content like this, make sure to click the eye icon on the top right corner or check the description below for a link to the channel. And if this video hits 500 likes by the end of the week, we will continue this what if. If you haven't watched parts 1, 2, 3, 4 or so on, watch those parts first before this one, or even if you need a refresher, there will be a link in the description below of all the parts. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Bakugo blasted himself towards Izuku in a blind rage.
I'll kill you, damn Deku!
As Bakugo approached, Izuku activated his new form, got into a battle stance and stepped forward to punch him in the gut.
Show me your true power, Kachan!
Bakugo grabbed Izuku's arm and threw him upwards, which sent him flying. Izuku was surprised by this as Bakugo had been the first person to not be stunned by one of his punches. Bakugo exclaims,
I heard you started using your close range fighting like Kurashima. Joke's on you, I've been training with him since the board festival.
Bakugo released a huge blast as Izuku was in the air. Izuku was sent even further upwards. As the smoke cleared, Izuku dived straight down and kicked Bakugo, which was eerily similar to the Manchester Smash. Bakugo blocked Izuku's blow. However, it broke through it, leaving a bright red mark on his arm. Bakugo threw himself forward and grabbed Izuku's face. He blasted him into the ground as Izuku countered him with a kick to his face, making Bakugo to stagger slightly. Izuku continued his attack and punched his side, launching Bakugo into a building. Bakugo flew back to Izuku and tried to blast him away, but he barely managed to dodge the explosion. Izuku grabbed him by the shirt and threw him into the sky. He powered up once more and bounced back and forth between walls, similar to how Gran Torino fights. Every time Izuku would go out of Bakugo's point of view, a massive blow would hit Bakugo, knocking him off the ground. Izuku was hitting Bakugo so many times that he looked like a ragdoll. One of the robots patrolling the area reported back to UA that there were students fighting. Aizawa heard the alarm go off and headed out to stop them. However, All Might stopped him in his tracks and asked if he could go. Aizawa nods and All Might leaves. Bakugo launched himself further into the air to dodge Izuku's bombardment of punches and kicks, then quickly shot down towards his now vulnerable opponent. Izuku evaded Bakugo's retaliation, but Bakugo propelled himself to spin continuously. One of his attacks connected. Bakugo misses and starts to descend down to the ground. Bakugo redirects himself off the ground, then uses more explosions to flank Izuku from behind and deliver a powerful punch to Izuku's side that sent Izuku flying into a nearby railing. Bakugo didn't give Izuku enough time to recover and leapt to the railing. Izuku dodged the initial explosion, but Bakugo used the momentum to spin himself around and grappled him. He tossed Izuku away and landed on the rail himself. Izuku started to recover and realized that his reaction time has improved considerably as a big smile ran across his face. Bakugo got annoyed by Izuku's self-confidence and lunged at him with an explosion. Izuku juked him and returned an attack right back at him. To protect himself, Bakugo unleashed his stun grenade technique to blind Izuku. It successfully obscured Izuku's vision, and he followed up with a punch in the jaw, expressing his disdain with Izuku's attitude. Bakugo grabbed Izuku by the shirt and blasted both of them up. Bakugo barraged him with explosions, leaving multiple burn marks on Izuku. Through the smoke created by Bakugo's attack, Izuku's clenched fist appeared with all his aura covering it and clocked him in the face. Bakugo clutched Izuku's shirt again and tried to blast him into the floor while trying to keep him restrained. It failed as Izuku ripped off his shirt, not letting him be thrown to the ground. Izuku once again put all his aura around his fist and charged it with excess power. He used his non-charged hand to counter Bakugo and turned the tables, which put Izuku in the perfect position to punch him in the gut, sending both students plummeting into the ground.
Stop it, Kachan, this power is mine. I fought to get here and I'll keep fighting until I reach number 1. It doesn't matter that All Might acknowledged me, I rejected his help. Because if I do it with his help and my own power, I feel like I cheated everyone I know.
Izuku shouted at Bakugo, knowing that only at that volume that he would actually pay attention.
Shut up, nerd! Only because you're this powerful doesn't mean you're gonna be number 1. I'll get it before you, and you'll be behind me forever!
Bakugo grumbled, pissed that he lost to his childhood friend. After all the hard work he did just to get to UA, he got outdone by someone who he thought was beneath him. Now, as he laid there defeated, he looked up and didn't recognize his adversary. He was different, more confident and able to talk to him without stuttering or stumbling his words. Shortly after, All Might arrived and told them both to break it up. Bakugo asked All Might why he admired Izuku more. All Might told him that even though Izuku was practically powerless, he was still very heroic and selfless, and believed that he had the ability to grow stronger and to compete with others. He then told Bakugo that he was always strong and had a quirk, and didn't pay attention to him due to him already being talented and strong enough to become a top-ranking hero. Emotional, Bakugo admitted that he's weak. All Might embraced him and apologized for making him think that. Bakugo broke out of the hug, and All Might told him that a hero needs the desire to win and to save people, as well as to uphold justice. Izuku always admired Kachan's strength, and Bakugo feared Izuku's heart. Now that their feelings are out in the open, they both realize that they can make each other stronger so they can win and save people. Bakugo sat on the ground and told Izuku that he shouldn't lose with All Might's guidance. Izuku replied that he will get stronger. As three of them left Ground Beta, All Might reminded Bakugo that he was both of their teachers, so he would be willing to take him under his wing, just like Izuku. He replied that he still has the desire to surpass the #1 hero, and so would be okay with working under him. He then told Izuku that he will focus on improving to surpass him. Izuku replied to Kachan, saying that he'll surpass even that. They started to go back and forth about it, while All Might realized the two of them took a big step and finally became proper rivals. Back at the dorms, Shota Aizawa restrained both his students for fighting past curfew. All Might tried to calm him and explain part of the situation without giving away his idea of making both of them his prodigies. Aizawa let them go, but decided to punish them accordingly by asking who initiated it. Bakugo admitted that he hit first, while Izuku said he also fought hard and retaliated. Bakugo got 4 days house arrest, while Izuku got 3. During that time, they must clean the common areas every morning and night and submit a written apology. Aizawa told them both not to go to Recovery Girl because they need to deal with the injuries they created without relying on her quirk. The next day, both of them cleaned the main lodge while their classmates went to the second term opening ceremony. While vacuuming, Izuku asked Kachan how his hardening technique was to fight against. He didn't expect an answer and was surprised when Bakugo talked to him normally. Bakugo told Izuku that his motions were too wide when he went for direct punches. One day, as Izuku went out to throw trash out, he spotted a face on the wall looking at him. He noticed it was Mirio Toga, the current user of One for All. He jumped in shock and asked him what he was doing there. "Oh, I'm just taking a look at how the troublemaker was doing." Izuku rolled his eyes and Mirio smiled. "How's the training with All Might and One for All going?" he asked as he put the trash away. Mirio told him not to change the subject and continued to scold him about his altercation with Bakugo. Izuku knew better than to argue, so he explained how his body wanted to fight and that he couldn't stop till he won. Mirio gave him a lecture about how your body moving in to save someone in need is what makes a great hero, but someone who rushes into a fight isn't. He also told Izuku to prepare since we'll be coming over to 1A in a few days, and warned him that he has improved from before. Izuku nodded and told him the same thing. 3 days has passed and Izuku was able to go back to class. As he was walking into class 1A, Ida, Uraraka, and Kirishima came over to ask what he was thinking. Kirishima told him that under the house arrest softened Bakugo up a bit and nudged him a bit. Ida told him that it was a horrible idea to get into a fight, and now that he is out of house arrest, he could talk to him since he hasn't over the past few days. Uraraka backed Ida up. As class started, Aizawa walked in with 3 other students. Izuku saw Mirio and was surprised. He thought Mirio was kidding a few days ago when he said he was going to visit them. Aizawa explained how they were there to talk about work studies. Namaki Amajiki was too afraid to speak in front of the class, while Nejire Hado got distracted by Soji's mask. Mirio tried to break the ice with a joke, but got even a colder response. Mirio figured the first-year students had little ideas about what's going on, so he decided to explain by showing, rather than telling. He challenged all of Class 1A to fight him, all at once. Before we continue with this What If, this video is sponsored by CalMax Customs, a brand new clothing line made for the wearers. CalMax Customs puts the customer first, offering a variety of clothing options ranging from casual to business casual. If you're looking for comfortable, easy-fitting clothing at low prices, check out CalMax Customs today. Everyone changed into their gym clothes and ran to Gym Gamma. Tamaki tells Mirio not to kill the younger students' spirits. Kurashima and Tokiyami suggested that they don't need a handicap from Mirio. Mirio told them to attack whenever they were ready. Kurashima tried to attack first, but Izuku stepped up to the challenge and activated the Super Izuku model, hardening. Members of Class 1A specializing in close combat decided to surround their opponent. Everyone armed themselves with their quirks until they were taken by surprise when Mirio's clothes suddenly fell off his body. He rushed to get his pants back on, which led Izuku to try and kick Mirio's head. Izuku's foot phased clean through Mirio's head, but Izuku switched from another kick aimed at Mirio's head to a punch directed at his gut. This took Mirio by surprise as he got sent backwards 10 meters and clenched his stomach. The other students cheered for Izuku. Mirio said, "You weren't kidding when you told me you take notes on every hero you meet." They both smirked at his comment. Mirio was attacked from behind by Oyama, Sero, and Ashido's quirks. Their attack slipped right through Mirio's body and disappeared in the ensuing explosion. He suddenly reappeared behind the class and said, Tokiyami used Black Aang to try and attack Mirio from behind, but he slipped through the ground and hit Tokiyami in the gut with a powerful surprise attack. He quickly moved in and knocked out Sero and Mineta with 2 quick punches. Oyama, Ashido, and Tsuyu tried to subdue him together, but they ended up knocked down by his quick attacks. Using a combination of his quirk and technique, Mirio defeated half of Class 1A within a single minute. Aizawa shouted to Class 1A to use this great opportunity and learn from this because he knew it would be invaluable. He also revealed that Mirio was the closest hero to being the number 1, including the pros. Having dealt with the long-range combatants, Mirio turned his attention to the close-range fighters and brawlers of Class 1A. Kurashima was shocked that Mirio had a quirk that could make him invincible, but Izuku told his remaining classmates that they need to wait to counterattack once Mirio came to them. Whenever Mirio did, he would always use a direct attack, and during that precise moment, they should counterattack. Kurashima thanked him for the tip, since it might work. Mirio fell into the ground again, leaving the students angsty. Izuku predicted that he would try an attack from behind again. He popped up exactly where Izuku anticipated, and launched up to counter him. Mirio was unfazed by this, knowing that Izuku would have probably caught on to his strategy. He then released one of his super moves, as Izuku was next to him, about to connect with a kick. Blinder touch, eyeball crush! Mirio phased his arm into Izuku's leg, and used his index to poke him in the eye. Izuku closed his eyes to protect himself, but he felt no contact. Mirio had activated his quirk to go through Izuku's head, which made him blind to Mirio's true attack, which was a wide hook to Izuku's gut. Izuku fell straight down into the concrete. Mirio decided to continue his trajectory and go forward and finish off the class. He went through them like a breeze, shouting his popular catchphrase, "Power!" He turned around and saw one student still standing. It was Izuku. He got up from the concrete crater and assumed the fighting pose. Mirio thought to himself that he should just get it over and done with. He started to run at Izuku. As Mirio approached, Izuku charged up to his ki-enhancing form. Mirio pulled back his fist, ready to do the same super move again. Blinder touch, eyeball! Izuku had hit Mirio in the gut with a ki blast, halting his progression and forward momentum as well as creating a small crater beneath both of them. Because of the ki blast, the other students started to regain consciousness, huddling together to watch the fight. Although he couldn't see Izuku's face, he resolved that the only way to win was to go all out. He built up one for all in his body, increasing his power level. He took a few steps towards Izuku until he was close enough to activate his quirk and attack him with another one of his super moves. Phantom Menace, Air Barrage! He shouted as he slipped into the ground. He then started to bounce from surface to surface. His speed increased, and the distance between himself and Izuku decreased. Mirio got ready to throw an assault. He noticed that Izuku remained motionless. Who will win in the clash of strength? Will Aizawa end this madness? Find out next time on What If Izuku Was a Saiyan. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for watching the video to the end. Now there's a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. On behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writer for this video and the editors for this video. Their details will be in the description. If you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the Discord that is in the description of this video and hit up the head of one of those areas. We're always looking for members to join us. That's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested, and hit that like button if you liked the video. Till next time, peace out mortals, have a fantastic day.